According to the U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, he said, and I quote, "Obviously, corruption is not a new problem. Every nation has faced it in one time or another in its development. America's own founding fathers knew the threat of corruption all too well, warning of the dangers that it posed to democratic governance. But today, corruption has grown to an alarming pace and threatens global growth, global stability, and indeed, global future." End of quote. Good evening, my name is Aisha Gambari, and it's time for another edition of the program, The Eagle. With me on the program is Aisha Mohammed. Hello, Aisha.
Hi, Aisha. Hello and welcome to the program. This program is coming to you from the stables of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Please stay tuned as the program continues shortly after this timeout. Don't go away.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
On the program today, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has secured the conviction of one notorious internet fraudster, Hope Olusegun Aroke, to 24 years imprisonment for his involvement in internet scam.
Also today, a prosecution witness in the ongoing trial of spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Olusemetu, has told Justice O.E. Agban of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja how he helped Metu to allegedly launder the sum of $3 million.
And Senator Godfrey Chukwuka, Chairman Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes, has again reiterated the commitment of the 8th Senate towards ensuring that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, enjoys improved funding to effectively combat graft of all shades in the country.
Please stay tuned as we bring you all the reports on this week's edition of the program after this timeout.
For me to buy correct motor, for me to take make money,
Welcome back to the program. We begin today with a story on the ongoing trial of Olusemetu, spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The trial, which is before Justice O.E. Abang of the Federal High Court, commenced with the prosecution witness telling the court how he allegedly helped Metu launder the sum of $3 million. Kamala Gebi completes the report.
The trial began with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, presenting two witnesses. The first prosecution witness, Nneka Rarume, a staff of Asset Resources Management, ARM, while being led in evidence by the prosecution counsel Sylvanus Tahir, told the court that she was given the sum of $2 million in cash by Metu to change through a bureau de change operator and was asked to pay the Naira equivalent into Destra Investment Limited bank account. Thereafter, Metu's counsel, Onyechik Peazu, SAN, prayed the court to adjourn to a later date for cross-examination to enable him get a necessary document in respect of the claim. The application was vehemently objected to by the prosecution counsel. In a bench ruling, Justice Abang refused the prayer of the defense. stating that there is no sufficient material before the court to oblige the defense their request. He ordered the defense to cross-examine the witness immediately. Answering questions during cross-examination, Ararumi maintained that the transaction was conducted on trust and that she had no idea how long it took the defendant to gather the said sum. Also testifying, the second prosecution witness, C.A. Ienome, a Bureau de Change operator, told the court that he was contacted by NECA to buy the sum of $1 million. According to Ienome, the transaction was done through Capital Field Investment and Trustees, and the Naira equivalent totaling 183 million Naira was paid into Destra Investment Limited bank account as agreed. Under cross-examination, PW2 stated that the transaction was legal and that it was carried out with due diligence. Justice Abang thereafter adjourned the matter for continuation of trial. At the next adjourned date, the EFCC presented its third witness. Testifying as third prosecution witness, Bali Ndam, a civil servant and legal officer in the Office of the National Security Advisor, told the court how the Office of the National Security Advisor wrote a letter to the EFCC requesting the Commission to investigate some payments made for contracts that were never executed. Ndam told the court that the sum of 400 million Naira was transferred to Destra Investment Limited from the Office of the National Security Advisor. Destra Investment Limited, the second defendant in the matter, is a company owned by the embattled spokesperson of the PDP, Olisa Metu. The witness identified the documents marked Exhibits A to C, presented as emanating from the Office of the National Security Advisor, as well as EFCC on the investigation of the said payments. The admissibility of the documents was contested by the defense counsel, Ikpeazu, on the grounds that a witness can only testify to a document made by him and not by someone else. Ikpeazu also argued that the documents did not have a certified true copy attached to it. Responding, counsel to EFCC, Silvanus Tahir, stated that the documents have been misconstrued by the defense. He submitted that the letters cannot bear a certified true copy because they bear the original signature of the maker and not a photocopy. He said, it is a public document which can be tendered in court by the recipient and testified to by a public servant like the witness. The electronically generated documents, Tahir added, are only correspondences and not a statement of account as provided for by Section 84 cited by the defense. In a bench ruling, Justice Abang said that there were several departments of government involved in the prosecution of the matter, which included not just the EFCC, but the Office of the National Security Advisor and other government organizations. According to him, any officer in the department involved in the prosecution can appear to testify or tender any correspondence issued by that organization. The judge further stated that it is only a public document for the payment of a prescribed fee that requires a certified true copy. He said, if the letters are admissible in court, the annexure can also be admissible as a document cannot be presented in piecemeal as they are all relevant in the case. He thereafter admitted the documents as exhibits. Under cross-examination, Ndam maintained that the sum of 400 million Naira was transferred to Destra Investment Limited from the Office of the National Security Advisor. Another prosecution witness, Eno Mfon Effiong, a staff of Diamond Bank PLC, was also called by the prosecution. Effiong, who is the account officer to the defendant, identified the letters which were sent to the bank by the Commission, requesting the statement of account and other instruments pertaining to Destra Investment Limited. Effiong told the court that Destra Investment Limited received an inflow of 400 million Naira in its Diamond Bank account. She further read from the statement of account presented as evidence in court, stating a credit transaction from the central bank account to the Office of the National Security Advisor into Destra Investment Limited. The document, though objected to by the defense counsel, was admitted as exhibit. The fifth prosecution witness, Yomi Badejo Okusanya, is a public relations consultant. While being led in evidence, he told the court that he was paid a total sum of 77 million Naira by the second defendant, Destra Investment Limited, to carry out media campaigns for the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Documents in support of his claim, including documents containing evidence of payments for different placements of advertorials of PDP in various media, were tendered and admitted as exhibits. Kabiru Ibrahim, the sixth prosecution witness, also told the court that he was given the sum of $1 million to change into Naira and pay into the account of Destra Investment Limited, a sum whose Naira equivalent amounted to 103 million Naira. After listening to testimonies from all the witnesses called, Justice Abang adjourned to February 4th, 2016 for continuation of trial.
Nigeria is the sixth largest producer of oil in the world. In over 50 years of oil exploration, the country has earned well over $600 billion as oil revenue. If properly managed, it should provide us with a health system that will save lives and not a decaying health system. A society where energy goes round for meaningful development and not an epileptic power supply system. A productive educational system and not a decaying educational system. A society where jobs are created for self-sustainability and not a society where our youth roam the streets unemployed. A highway of safety and security and not roads that lead us to early graves. We should have credible leaders who deliver dividends of democracy to the people and not corrupt leaders who divert our collective revenue for private use. Say no to corrupt leaders. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
And now to the trial of former governor of Plateau State, Joshua Dare, who is being prosecuted on a 23-count charge bordering on money laundering and diversion of funds before Justice Adebukola Banjoko of the Federal Capital Territory FCT High Court, Gudu, Abuja. Kamali Gebi once again reports.
Dare, in addition to being accused of siphoning over 1 billion naira ecological funds meant for Plateau State, is also alleged to have diverted over 200 million naira meant for the state treasury to Ebenezer Ratnan Ventures ERV, a company owned by him. Led in evidence by prosecuting counsel Rotimi Jacobs, SAN, the EFCC witness, a detective with the EFCC, gave details of how money meant for the Plateau State government account was diverted to ERV. He told the court that in the course of investigations into several check slips recovered from the then Lion Bank, now Diamond Bank, it was discovered that there were several questionable inflows into the account of ERV. Further probe into the account, according to the witness, revealed that the source of the funds came from the Plateau State government, but for no services rendered. Presenting the certified photocopies of various bank drafts in court to prove the fraudulent transfers, the witness said, and I quote, "In the course of our investigations, we found out that the origin of various money credited to Ebenezer Ratnan Ventures with Diamond Bank, then Lion Bank, PLC, was from the office of the state's Accountant General." End of quote. Counsel to Dare, G.S. Paul, SAN, raised an objection to the admissibility of the photocopies of the bank drafts raised from the checks, but his objection was overruled by Justice Banjoko, and the documents were accepted as exhibits. Specifically, the EFCC witness said that the Office of the State's Accountant General issued Lion Bank checks to All States Trust Bank, which were cleared into the account of ERV. He further noted that investigations showed that there were no services rendered by ERV to warrant the payment of the said money, adding that investigations at the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, showed that the company was not registered. Several of such fraudulent transactions, he said, included a check of 15 million naira payable to All States Trust Bank credited to ERV, another check of 8 million naira dated January 17, 2001 payable to All States Trust Bank was also credited to ERV, and Lion Bank check of 10 million naira payable to All States Trust Bank was also credited to ERV. According to him, a number of such transactions totaling over 200 million naira involved Lion Bank checks, which were thereafter converted to drafts and paid into All States Trust Bank and later credited to the account of ERV. He added that a further probe into the account of ERV with the bank showed that Dare used money from the account to purchase a number of properties. The voluntary statements made by Dare on June 12, 2007, June 13, 2007, and June 15, 2007 during interrogation were also presented in court and admitted as exhibits. It would be recalled that since his first arraignment on July 13, 2007 at the Federal High Court, Abuja, Dare employed all means known to law to frustrate his trial. Following his plea of not guilty to the charges preferred against him, the court had set aside November 13, 2007 for the prosecution to open its case. On the date fixed for trial to commence, Darie filed a motion before the court praying for an order to quash the 23-count charge preferred against him on diverse grounds, including lack of local standing to prosecute him and jurisdiction to hear and determine the case. Darie's application was dismissed by the court on December 10, 2007. He proceeded on appeal, which also suffered the same fate on June 17, 2010. Not satisfied, the former governor proceeded to the Supreme Court on July 13, 2010. The Apex Court, in its judgment delivered on February 27, 2015, found the appeal to be lacking in merit and consequently dismissed it and ordered the court to commence expeditious trial of the former governor.
What is it?
Please, keep to yourself. Chief Urabo, I got a telephone call.
Anytime I close my eyes,
Yes.
I see dead people chasing me in my sleep.
My Jehovah Magadam.
Chief, is it possible for someone to become restless just because of his past deeds?
Nevertheless, unless you kill somebody dead, then the spirit will be haunted you.
Hey!
Was you all contractors?
I embezzled all the money for the roads that are now death traps, killing people every day. I approved the supplies of fake drugs on pipe and water. I embezzled the money. I dey fear, Chief.
You are supposed to fear, especially now that you don't people of EFCC and chase people who are doing wuru to submit other people money. EFCC, as soon as they capture them, straight to prison.
Chief,
Jail. How you are? Life are not just about acquire wealth, making money. When other people are didn't die of hunger and neglect. Be careful. EFCC and watch.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Glad to have you join us again on The Eagle. Justice Latifa Okuno of the Lagos State High Court sitting in Ikeja, Lagos, has convicted and sentenced an undergraduate of Kuala Lumpur Metropolitan University, Malaysia, Hope Olusegun Aroke, to 24 years imprisonment for his involvement in internet scam. Olufemi Adeyemi has more on this.
Aroke, a 25-year-old undergraduate, was arraigned before Justice Okuno on a 2-count charge bordering on obtaining money by false pretense, check cloning, wire transfer, and forgery. The court found him guilty of the 2 charges and was sentenced to 12 years imprisonment on each of the 2 counts. Troubles came for Aroke when an anonymous petitioner wrote to the EFCC alleging that the Kogi State-born undergraduate was involved in sundry fraudulent activities on the internet. The EFCC swung into action and investigated the internet dealings of Aroke. Investigations showed that he was involved in several romance scams that fetched him a total sum of 4,000 Malaysian Riyals, an equivalent of 25 million naira. Aroke admitted sending the money to Nigeria through one Angela, who later helped him deposit in the New Generation Bank. Upon his arrest, 2 exotic cars valued at 23 million naira were recovered from him. Justice Okuno ruled that the sentence should run concurrently. Meanwhile, Aroke has 2 other matters yet undecided before Justice B. Idris of the Federal High Court, Lagos. Olufemi Adeyemi, reporting for The Eagle.
Aisha, I sincerely hope that this new development will serve as a deterrent to all the young people out there who are still engaged in this nefarious act. It is only a matter of time before the law catches up with them.
Yes, Aisha. I believe this will serve as a lesson to them. Wherever they are and however they operate, the EFCC is watching and one day they will be apprehended. Moving on, Senator Godfrey Chukwuka Utazi, Chairman Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes, has again reiterated the commitment of the 8th Senate towards ensuring that Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC enjoys improved funding to effectively combat graft of all shades in the country. Rolake Odofin Jolayemi reports.
Senator Utazi gave this assurance when he led other members of the committee on an oversight visit to the EFCC Academy, Karu, Abuja. While commending the EFCC on the successes recorded so far, Senator Utazi urged the anti-graft agency not to relent in its varied efforts to rid the country of corruption, but instead focus on adding vigor to its activities to further boost Nigeria's image in the international community.
Me and my committee, we are here. We've taken this upon ourselves that we have to work for a better Nigeria and have this belief that we can do it. And we have to deign it into the heads of every other person to see things the way we are seeing it. Not negatively, not from the negative perspective, but on positive notes. This country can do it. And thank God we have somebody who is out there to get things done. Now that the clarion call has been made, we will take it from behind. It's not his fight. It is my fight. It is your fight. It's the fight of all of us here to get things better for this country.
Senator Utazi and his team were taken on a tour of the Academy's facilities by the Acting Commandant, David Tukura. These include the auditorium, the executive hostel, the canteen and the library. While on tour of the classrooms, Senator Utazi stumbled on a lecture in session and proceeded to give the officers a pep talk.
Gentlemen, you see, we are of the Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes. And we're here on facility tour of this school, this training school. And we understand the importance, of this place. And that's why we say we cannot leave it out in our oversight. And for you to be opportune to be here, it means you are a lucky person to undergo this training. Undergoing this training means that you are being selected apart from the rest. And that you have been found worthy to be here. All of us have going to work very hard for this country.
Earlier, Tukura briefed the committee on some of the functions of the Academy, including cadet training, while also generating and producing intellectuals to support law enforcement. According to him, the Academy also partners with other law enforcement agencies in areas of intelligence and collaboration through courses. He thanks the legislators for their visits and assured that the Commission would not relent in its fight against corruption. Rolake Odofin Jolaimi, reporting for the Eagle.
Thank you for joining us again. The program is The Eagle, coming to you from the stables of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Next is a public service announcement. Please stay tuned.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, wishes to alert the general public about activities of some unscrupulous elements who have opened fake Facebook accounts in the name of the acting chairman of the commission, Ibrahim Mustafa Magu. The two accounts, www.facebook.com/Ibrahim Mustafa Magu and www.facebook.com/magu.ibrahim.77 have become platforms for various unwholesome activities, including solicitations for gratification and influence peddling using the name of the EFCC boss. The public is hereby warned not to respond to any request for friendship and other demands in the name of Magu, as the accounts do not belong to him. Also, the Commission wants the public to be mindful of telephone calls by persons claiming to be acting on behalf of the acting chairman and soliciting for gratification. Such calls or persons should be reported to the EFCC or the nearest police station. The Commission has consistently maintained that it does not solicit money or gratification of any sort to carry out its statutory duties. The general public is by this release enjoined to be vigilant and help in unmasking these unscrupulous elements who are bent on soiling the reputation of Magu and the EFCC.
Please also note that the EFCC's Facebook account is at officialefcc.com/facebook.com. With that announcement, we call it a day on this week's edition of the program. We hope you continue to tune in as we bring you activities within the EFCC. Please don't forget to send your feedback to us via the Eagle at efccnigeria.org or search for us on Google Plus at Official EFCC or Official EFCCNG at gmail.com.
You can also like our page on facebook.com/Official EFCC or follow us on Twitter at Official EFCC. And to watch our programs and other activities, please log on to youtube.com/Official EFCC. My name is Aisha Mohammed. Good evening.
And I'm Aisha Gambari. Thank you for watching and God bless Nigeria.